with 6, 5, gonna loop it downfield, and ball is caught! Touchdown, Georgia Tech! With 1 second to go in the ball game, Christian Leary.
He choosing, but I turned up on the way. I turned up on the road, got him turned up across the club. All these niggas I be pulling out they, and once I get up to the room, they be turned up out they clothes like, and I be going ham. I don't think these really know just who I am. Just ROSCOE dash, and I get lots of cash. But for short, you can call me Mr. Way Too Turned Up for they shouted when I'm my music line, zone 4, it's a gas. Do that, turn me up. Do not turn me down. Just gon' turn me up. Roscoe dance, what's up? What's up? What's up? It's out here with it. All the way turned up. 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 All the way
Third and goal, King to throw. With time, now we'll tuck at the 5, dives, and it is a Georgia Tech touchdown for Haynes King.
To that turned up, man. I be so turned up, I be swagging to the max. If you get it in and you get out, don't pop a bottle, it's right in your zone. Go by the zone, you can smell it on my clothes. And I'm man up in my switch, about to take one to the zone. I'm gone in another zone. I be riding on the engine with no one fuck going zone. They like what they going on. I don't really know. Then I roll down all my windows and I crank that. It's all that we all the way turned up. 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 All the way turned up.
75 seconds to go. Hands the ball to Haynes. He keeps fighting and drives to the end zone. Second and third effort get the touchdown for Jamal Haynes.
All up in Mexico, into the pesos. Whoa, check out the gear. Getting money was a sport. I'm MVP every year. We get money over here. They must not know where I'm from. Your girl spinning on my jet like a city. Turn up till you can't turn no more. Burn up till you can't burn no more. I brought my chain everywhere I go. Smoke till you can't smoke no more. Choke till you can't choke no more. Work till you can't work no more. I'm rich, I can't go no more. All the way turned up. 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 All the way turned up.
Here's King from the pocket. Flush to his right with 6, 5. Gonna loop it downfield. And ball is caught! Touchdown, Georgia Tech! With 1 second to go in the ball game, Christian Leary.
He choosing, but I turned up on the way. I turned up on the road, got him turned up across the club. All these niggas I be pulling out they, and once I get up to the room, they be turned up out they clothes like, and I be going ham. I don't think these really know just who I am. Just ROSCOE dash, and I get lots of cash. But for short, you can call me Mr. Way Too Turned Up for they shouted when I'm all the way turned up. the gas. He just turn me up. Do not turn me down. Just gon' turn me up. Roscoe dance, what's up? What's up? What's up? And shout it with me all the way turned up. 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 All the way
Third and goal, King to throw. With time, now we'll talk at the 5, dives, and it is a Georgia Tech touchdown for Haynes King.
To that third down, I be so turned up, I be swagging to the max. If you get it in and you get out, don't pop a bottle, this right in your song. Go by the zone, you can smell it on my clothes, and I'm up in my switch up, about to take one to the zone. I'm gone in another zone, I be riding on the engine with no one fuck going zone. They like what they going on, I don't really know. Then I roll down all my windows and I crank that and shout it with me all the way turned up. 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 All the way turned up.
75 seconds to go. Hands the ball to Haynes. He keeps fighting and drives to the end zone. Second and third effort get the touchdown for Jamal Haynes.
All up in Mexico, into the pesos. Whoa, check out the gear. Getting money was a sport. I'm MVP every year. We get money over here. They must not know where I'm from. Your girl spinning on my jet like a zero. Turn up till you can't turn no more. Burn up till you can't burn no more. Rock my chain everywhere I go. Smoke till you can't smoke no more. Choke till you can't choke no more. Work till you can't work no more. I'm rich, I can't go no more. All the way turned up. 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 All the way turned up.
Here's King from the pocket. Flush to his right with 6. 5. Gonna loop it downfield. And ball is caught. Touchdown, Georgia Tech. With 1 second to go in the ball game, Christian Leary.
He choosing, but I turned up on the way. I turned up on the road, got him turned up across the globe. All these niggas, I be pulling out they. And once I get up to the room, they be turned up out their clothes like. And I be going ham. I don't think these really know just who.
When they see me off in traffic, they say Jeezy on some other shit. Send them running straight back to the dealership. Me, I'm in my spaceship, that's right, I work for NASA. This 7H is not a fraud. Call that my bodyguard. Call that the bodyguard. Yeah, that's my bodyguard. Wear a lot of jewelry. Young don't do security. What's whiter than a napkin? Harder than a dinner plate. If you want it, come and get it. You know I stay super straight. Ran up in my spots, I'm now working out.
To go from the 44, snap back to King, flush out to his right, Rookie, 5 seconds to go, he will toss it into the end zone at the 5, Larry in the end zone, touchdown Jackets, touchdown Jackets, 1 second left.
It is unacceptable. 122nd ranked offense just scored 38 unanswered points. Let me repeat that. The 122nd ranked offense out of 133 teams scored 38 unanswered points.
I'm having to walk up all these stairs because there's innocent people down there that don't deserve to be subjected to Sea Dog when we're losing to Bowling Green, dude. We're about to be losing to them. What is this? This is why I don't come to games, to watch the shitty Yellow Jackets play. God! Alright. I'm doing something crazy here. I'm gonna ride with my Jackets in the upset of the century.
What? Okay, go ahead.
If it happens, I'm gonna look like a genius. I'm gonna go Jackets 37-34.
Thank you, bro. Curveball says we don't want to just run on Georgia Tech. We have a lot of wide receiver recruits coming to the game, including the #1 rated player in the country. We need to air raid to impress. Now, I have a counter argument here for that. I have seen that all over social media. The #1 thing you need to worry about doing, in my opinion, is winning. So
15 seconds. The only chance is if we, like, I don't know, if they play prevent and we were able to.
Well, if they turn the ball over, we were able to strip the ball.
Right. That would be huge. We've got the ball on our 30. They're gonna hand it off. It goes nowhere again. Well, he gets maybe 5 yards. Ball comes out! Wow! We've got the ball.
They're pointing. He's pointing Tech's way.
Wow. The ball comes out with 26 seconds to go when it's the Tech ball. So, so 26 seconds here. Hopefully they can play some prevent and we can go down the field. Wow, we stripped the ball out.
I think that
you're calling it down.
I think they're gonna look at this again. I think he might be down.
Let's see.
I think his left shoulder is down.
But does he have possession? And even if we get it, it's like we get the ball around 30, and we gotta get with 26 seconds left. Yeah.
We gotta go. Yeah.
Okay. After further review, ruling on field stance.
All right. So Tech is gonna have a chance here. Now we don't need a touchdown. We need a field goal to tie.
To tie and go in overtime.
So we probably need to drive 60 yards in 26 seconds.
Now, if they play prevent, we got a chance. If they play prevent, shout out to the D, man. Wow.
Never giving up.
Shout out to those guys, dude.
Hopefully, they are in a prevent-like defense.
Hopefully this is, All right, takes a snap, drops back, looking under pressure, dumps it off into the ground. 22 seconds left. We're on the 26. Takes a snap, drops back, looking, fires deep. Get him. Oh, caught! He didn't get out of bounds. He doesn't get out of bounds, but he's got the first. We got to hurry here. Got to hurry. 14 seconds left.
Come on.
14 seconds left. That was Malik Rutherford. Wow.
They're going to spike
13. We're going to spike it here. Okay.
All right,
10 seconds. We're all the way up to their 45. Wow. 10 seconds left, dude. Do we kick a field goal? What do we do?
I think you play for the field goal here. You've got to hit out routes.
Yeah.
Or seams up the sideline.
Yeah. Man, Malik Rutherford with that grab. And he doesn't quite get out of bounds. 2nd and 10, dude. Holy crap. Drops back to pass, looking. Scrambles out. He's running. Fires deep. Got him! Oh, my God! Oh, my God! A touchdown! 1 second left! A touchdown! Oh, my God! Christian Leary with the touchdown! With 26 seconds left on the clock! Oh my God! It prevents you from from winning. Oh my God, dude.
Oh my God.
My God, I cannot believe what I've laid my eyes upon tonight.
Oh, you trash, you.
Oh my God.
Talking that shit.
Oh my God. We're yellow. Hey. Sucks to be you.
I told every motherfucker, everybody, that they were going to overlook us just like we did the Bowling Green. And what happened? You got shit on by the kids.
Let's go. Let's see what they do.
Nowhere near field goal range.
Okay, yeah.
So they got to go to the end zone here. So just one play.
One
more
play.
defense.
It would be so Georgia Tech of us to give this up.
Oh, my God.
I don't know, man. We're in that prevent formation, man. We're in that prevent. I don't know.
Let's get some pressure with 3 here.
All right, drops back,
And
fires. Get him. Get him.
Tackle.
Get him. They're doing the pitch thing. Get him.
Come on.
He throws it back. Catches it. Oh, no. Please get him. Please. He's going to try to. They're doing the pitch thing. They pitch it back to someone, then throw it way back to the 50. Oh, my God. He's looking. He throws it way back to the 35. Get him. Get him. Get him. Get him. He's all the way back to their own 40 now. They're doing this crazy thing. I'm dying. My heart. Get him. Get him. Get him. Yes. 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 We win. Georgia Tech wins. Georgia Tech wins. It sucks to be you.
You lose. Oh.
Let's go.
Oh, my God. Georgia Tech
Oh.
upsets Miami, and they got to take a long-ass bus ride back from their home stadium.
You did.
Oh.
You did.
We
You
did
did.
it.
You did tell it. You did tell everybody. You told everyone. You did. And they're crying on the sidelines.
crying.
And they're crying.
Is Mario crying? Oh, my
Oh,
God.
man. $300 on Georgia Tech money line.
What?
You just won $1,700. What is wrong with you? Why did you do that?
He took Georgia Tech on the...
He bet $300 on Tech on the money line.
He won more than
and he won
$1,700.
$1,700. What is wrong with you? Why would you do that?
Are you sure he didn't win 17 grand?
Why would you do that? Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. I cannot believe what I've laid my eyes on tonight, man. You. Oh my God, dude. He had $700 total bet on this game. What is wrong with you?
We're taking this team to the stratosphere!
I'll talk to you.
I don't, again, like normal, I don't have my mic on. What is going on, everyone? And welcome to the one, the only Georgia Tech live show. I don't know if C-Dog will be on tonight, but man, what a game. All right, and look, before we get into that, let me roll up through the chat and say hi to everyone and apologize for taking my shirt off. Sometimes I do that when I get excited. So, yeah, it happens. I see Adam Burgess in here says, woo! How about them jackets, baby? In fact, this is the face I was making all night last night. Shout out to Jim Cornette. He's the man. Mike Doug says, what up, WreckTalk Nation? 1126 says, go Jackets. It sucks to be you. That's right. Duncan Wilkins, why would you go up against Pate? Like I said in the chat, if you want a watered down, very bland, unimaginative take, then go watch Josh Pate. In fact, I'm sure he's carrying water for Miami as we speak. CDog18 says, all the way turned up. Let's go. Let's go. Coffee killer with the flames. That's right. Tech was fire last night, weren't they? Jacob Gray, I was 9 years old when they played this at the games. Holy shit, I'm old. Not that old. I mean, all the way turned up was lit. They do need to bring that back. Todd said, this is like maybe comment of the year. It's being reported Jeff Collins threw that water bottle in the end zone on the final TD. And I see Simona in here. Shout out to her. That's Christian Leary's mom, saying that they threw a beer bottle at him. I mean, what a trash fan base. Like, you should have been mad about Tyler Van Dyke throwing a bunch of garbage all night. 3 picks, one of them almost a pick 6. Show a little class, throwing trash at players. Come on now. Tilo in the house. What's going on, man? Tom says, love the music choice. Yeah, I had to bring back some old school stuff. Finn Johnson says, let's go. Let's go. Randall Scott says, these memes rock. Yeah, I'm going to try and do that as a regular occurrence on the Georgia Tech Live show. And really all I have to do is go to Patience Veach's Twitter and just pull those. That's where most of them came from. And I don't have to do any work. CJ says, up with the white and gold. That's right. That's right. Face Zach says, LMAO, Lamau. That's right. That's right. John Collins, anyone else go to bed at 4 a.m. after that game? Man, I'll be honest with you guys. I didn't drink that much water during the stream. In fact, if you see after I just lost my mind, like I'm pretty chill after that. I had like a pounding headache. I felt awful. But it wasn't that bad because we won, so I got over it. That's what took me so long to kind of recover from that, from the emotional roller coaster of Bowling Green to Miami. It took me a minute. Ben Jones says, live show is always better with a big win. Go Jackets. That's absolutely right. Laxer59 says, let's go. Georgia Tech faithful. I said I wouldn't let it happen again, but Tech's giving me hope they can change. This is a relationship I've chosen. That's the thing. The Miami fan base is really going through what we did last week. Coach Coop is the guy who was in that clip. Coach Coop is, if you watch my video today I put out, there's 2 YouTubers. Whenever they put something out, I tune in. I put them in the S tier of college football content creators. That'd be Coach Coop for me and Carolina Jackpot. But he put out a video today that was almost exactly like the video I put out after the Bowling Green loss. Like, why does this always happen to our team? Why are we always let down? This kind of thing. So definitely go check out Coach Coop. Subscribe to him if you're not subscribed to him. He does great work. Montega Harrison says, hey, C-Dog was upset. That was a roller coaster of a game. We're going to talk about it tonight. Luke, the Tar Heel, we have a whole compilation. Yeah, I'm glad you said that. I'm actually, that's one of my tasks for this week. Anytime we have a good stream like that, well, for every live stream that me and C-Dog do. By the way, C-Dog and I doing live streams together in the same like physical space, we're 2-0. The first time we ever did that was against Wake Forest. We came out with the win. And then, obviously, the upset at Miami. So after every one of those, whoever's channel it's not on, we'll cut up a compilation. I'll probably do that after the show tonight, and have that out for you guys tomorrow. TriStar says, turn your volume up. Nothing I can do about that. That was during the live stream. And you were going to get your ears blasted no matter what I did. Mr. Rogers, member of the channel. By the way, if you're not a member, Mike Doug is as well, T Branch, just the guys that are coming off the top of my head. There'll be some members-only content that pertains to this game. I'll probably react to some press conferences and stuff. So those are available to members. It's $5 a month if you'd like to become a member. There's a join button right under the title of the video, or if you're on your phone, there's a link in the description of the video. Is there anyone I haven't? Okay, Dirk, this was beautiful to watch on the stream. Yeah, if you guys don't turn into those live stream reactions, we get lit one way or the other. And we're sober as preachers doing it. You know, some people might see me take my shirt off and think, man, he must have been drunk as hell. Nah, sober. Did it sober. Simona Stafford, my boy. Yeah, Christian Leary with one of the most clutch catches of all time there. That was amazing. That was absolutely amazing. John Collins says, this is the best stream highlight to date. This is gold. Yep, well, I'm going to do a complete stream. It'll probably be 30 minutes or so, something about that, where I'll pick out all the best parts of that stream and upload it. I think I've got back down here now. Simona says, we have so much talent. And she did call it. She said, hey, Georgia Tech's going to fight. They're not just going to roll over. This is a team that's going to come out and play some good ball. And she was absolutely right. The defense did show up and do their job. Mike says Mario Cristobal didn't even kneel to propose to his wife. This isn't so let's get into it tonight. Let's talk about this football game. You know, Georgia Tech fan base, it's hard to say we could get any lower as a fan base after Jeff Collins and that. But Brent Key gave us hope. We saw how he finished out last season as the interim. You know, we made a bunch of really good hires in our staff. Then Bowling Green happens. Bowling Green happens, and then we make a change at coordinator. A change that I was, I'm not going to necessarily say critical of, but I wasn't so sure how it was going to turn out. I said coming into this game, if our defense doesn't play better, and it's like tangibly better, then this is not going to be a good look for Brent Key or Georgia Tech. That might be the best. I mean, let me ask you guys in the chat. When was the last time you can remember Georgia Tech's defense playing that well? And I'm talking about even with Ace Ely and Keon White and Charlie Thomas last year. Like, Miami fans are going to say, oh, well, Miami's offense just didn't show up, and they're going to say it was all on Miami's offense laying an egg. Georgia Tech's defense did a fantastic job against a very good offense. That Miami offense is ultra talented. They do have 3 wide receivers that will probably play on Sundays or have the talent to. They have a loaded running back room. They have a very good offensive line. And we came out and played phenomenally on defense. And I know they had 400 and something yards of offense. Here's the thing. 450 yards or so of offense. But you don't determine who wins based on stats. You determine who wins based on who scores more points by the time the clock hits 0. And Georgia Tech's offense prevented Miami from scoring points. You know, that game was 0-3 going into half. It was 0-3. Tyler Van Dyke had 3 touchdowns. We had heard all week. You know, I had argued with Slim, and I'm not even saying that Tyler Van Dyke isn't a good quarterback, but could it be the case that Miami was a little higher on him than they needed to be? Probably. Had a bad game. And shout out, to LaMiles Brooks. That interception he had in the end zone, he baited that throw. He baited that Tyler Van Dyke to make that throw. And then Brooks made a hell of a play. The whole secondary played well. And the other story of that game, you know, I'm not generally critical of players. I was critical of Paul Mola coming into this game. And he showed up in Coral Gables and he showed out. Had a sack. I think he had a forced fumble. The linebackers played their minds out too. They filled gaps. They made plays. Kevin Scherer had these guys ready to play on defense. He had these guys ready to play on defense. Now, very Georgia Tech thing. We talked about the inconsistencies. The offense did not play well. This wasn't a win where Georgia Tech just got everything together and played a complete game on both sides of the football. That's not what happened. We played A minus defense and C minus or lower offense. We had 61 yards coming in to the half, And look, the rain was a factor. Simona, you might be able – I wasn't at the game. For Simona or any of you guys that were at the game or gals, the rain looked like it was really coming down at times. The thing is, it affects both offenses equally, right? I'm sure that it affected Miami's ability to run effective offense, and it surely affected Tech's ability. Haynes King kind of had a rough game again. This is 2 games in a row where I think he would be the first person to tell you he didn't have his best game. He threw one of those picks that it was at least triple coverage. Could even say there was 4 guys in it. But here's the important thing. Even with the offense struggling, they didn't give up. They came out, they kept fighting. We played a whole lot better on offense in the second half, and we took opportunities when they were presented to us. Okay? We let Miami make the mistakes tonight. Makes me think of Coach Coop's video today where he's like, why does this keep happening to Miami? I can't tell you how many Georgia Tech games I've watched where I felt the same way, where we come out on the losing end of those kind of things. Yeah, and you're right, Simona. Like, moments like these are when you find out what kind of man you're going to be, what kind of player that you are. It makes me think of Derek Moore. There are some things in life that call a man to the front of the line, where you have to come together, where you have to put aside childish things, where you've got to dig down deep and say, who's going to make a play? Who's going to make it happen right now? All right? Because you don't get these moments back. You get one chance in life if you're playing for Georgia Tech in this moment right here when they fumble the ball. You're never going to get it again. All right? You got to bleed and sweat together with your brothers and make something happen. And by God, they made it happen. They made it happen in Coral Gables. Christian Leary. Well, first of all, we'll talk a second about the decision for Mario Cristobal to not take a knee. And it is going to go down. It could be the worst coaching snafu you've ever seen. I saw someone, I don't know if they commented it or I saw it on Twitter, but it made me think of that Super Bowl with the Falcons, where all we got to do is run the ball, kick a field goal, and become Super Bowl champions as the Falcons, and we don't do it. I don't know what Mario was thinking. They had a 99.999999999% chance of winning right there. That's why I went and got – this is my probability and statistics book from Georgia Tech. Okay? And there's a lot of complicated-looking things in here, integrals and all this and whatnot. But it's not that complicated. It's not that complicated at all. You just take the knee. I see Fazak with a $10 super chat says, watch my TikTok, and he's dropped a link there. I don't know if you guys can click on that or not. Let me know if you can't. But I do definitely go check out Fazak's TikTok. Unfortunately, I'm too old to fool with TikTok, but y'all should check it out. Appreciate the super chat. It looks like Tilo just became a member. I appreciate that, Tilo. Memberships are definitely, I think they're worth the $5. That's why I asked that. I appreciate you for becoming a member. I think, there's probably 20 members-only videos in there. You also get custom emojis you can throw up in the live chat. And your name becomes green. That lets you know you're a part of WreckTalk Nation. Now, in truth, it should have never come down to that even. That pull it up on stream. Well, let me first see what it is. Okay. I hope that if I show this like this, I've actually had streams taken down, but I did show another clip. So here we go. Let me switch screens here. Oh, I just realized I don't have the desktop audio up. Hold on.
On the screen. Here's King from the pocket. Flush to his right with 6-5. Gonna loop it downfield. And ball is caught. Touchdown, Georgia Tech.
Yeah, I mean that. You saw Sea-Dog and I's reaction to that. I appreciate that face, Zach. I mean, that was absolutely wild. Yeah, I can't really do anything about the audio being low on that. It was a factor. Christian had me to go buy specific gloves. What was a factor? What did I miss? What did I miss? All right, so man, we're getting some inside scoop here. Christian Leary's mom, Simona's in the chat. She says that he went and had her buy specific gloves that he caught that game-winning touchdown on. Wow. Yeah, I can't. Well, I shouldn't say I can't believe Miami fans were throwing stuff. You know, the 40 of them that showed up to watch their own team threw trash on the field. I kind of hope Miami sorts that out. Like that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Pretty bad. But yeah, so it should have never got to the point where it came down to them even us being in a position to do that. Miami was a 20-point favorite. And all that I had ever heard all week, I was accused of smoking crack because I thought that Miami wouldn't cover. I didn't even pick Georgia Tech to win. All I said is, look, I think after last week, Brent Key is going to crack some skulls. This is going to be a brutal week of practice. And I think Tech is going to come out much improved, playing better, and ready to go. And WreckTalk smoking crack. WreckTalk's an idiot. Smoking the copium. Oh, what did Michael Scott say? How the turns table. How the tables have turned. Now it's the you smoking the crack. All right? And for them to think that they were just going to come in, you know what they were worried about? They were worried about, could they score at least 60 on us? Could they beat us by 50? And to Coach Coop's credit, he's like, we just need to be worried about winning the game. What have they won in the past 20 years to make them think they can overlook anybody? What have they won in the past 20 years to make them think that they can just go around and pencil in a win somewhere when it's a Power 5 conference opponent? Nothing! They haven't won anything to think that. Yet they're going to point the finger. Pointing fingers gets us nowhere at Rhett. Accuse him of doing that. What's going on, TK? TK says just wanted to come in and say hi. Congrats again for the win. Also, Joseph Strickland, welcome. Now a WreckTalk member. I appreciate you for becoming a member, man. Like I said, there's a lot of cool benefits to becoming a member. But yeah, I'm accused of being some maniac for thinking Miami wouldn't cover. All right? That's why you play the game. And then it's like, oh, well, we doubled you up in yardage. Yeah, doesn't matter though, does it? Whether you score you have 1,000 yards of offense or 0. All right? All that matters is who scores more points when that clock reads 0, 0, 0. And Georgia Tech found a way to win. Face Zach with a $10 super chat says, I commented on a Miami fan vid saying that I'm upset at our play, but a win is a win. I got a reply saying, be happy. You shouldn't have won. I'm tired of the mantra of settle for the minimum. Let me reread that to myself here. Be happy. You shouldn't have won. Well, I'll tell you what. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. You know. I'll take 12 wins I shouldn't have won over 12 wins or however many wins you want to have where I should have won the game but didn't. I don't really care about who should have won. I do not care. Ban this Vanderbilt idiot. What's Vandy Dandy saying? Wow, Georgia Tech will go 5-7 instead of 4-8. Well, I don't ban anyone unless they do anything worthy of banning. If he wants to expose himself as an idiot, he's welcome to do that. I would rather the idiots be exposed. And so we kind of know where they all are, and we can kind of point and laugh. You know, Vandy. It's odd to me that we should be friendly with Vanderbilt. Like they're a great academic school. You know, they're kind of in the same position as us in a lot of ways. And then he wants to come in here and talk trash. What's your best win in the past 5 years? Do you have one? I mean, jeez. And speaking of fighting, you know, whether the guy's elbow was down, and it's unclear to me. It depends on, it has to be an incontrovertible evidence. And speaking of the copium, I've seen Miami fans saying, oh, his elbow is clearly down. This is scripted. Like there's some grand conspiracy for Georgia Tech to beat Miami last night. It's scripted. The refs are in our pockets. You know, we're $300 million in debt, and we've got the refs in our pockets. It doesn't matter whether his elbow was down or not. Your coach should have taken the knee. Your coach should read one of these. And then even with that, all you got to do is keep us from going 75 yards in 26 seconds. We had struggled offensively all night. But when it mattered most, Georgia Tech's offense showed up. When it mattered most, and I agree with that. Our most underrated wide receiver shows up and shows out. He puts on for the city. Face that with a $2 super chat. I only see us losing to UNC and UGA 7-5. Well, I'm not willing to say that. I'm kind of like out of the prediction business right now because it is like a roller coaster to lose to Bowling Green and then beat Georgia Tech. Really, all I'm focused on, we're on a bye this week, so let's get ourselves ready. Let's have a good week of practice, right? And my only focus is now Boston College. You need to get ready to play Boston College. Don't let this win go to your head. Don't think that it really means anything as far as what your yearly goals are. Put that one to bed. Focus on Boston College. If you focus on what's right in front of you, good things are going to happen. But don't let this think you got any reason to strut around. But speaking of North Carolina, Miami's got North Carolina next week, and that's something else. That's something else I was called an idiot for. I was like, well, and if you remember in my season prediction, I might pull it up. I said best case scenario for Tech as far as getting a win over Miami is that they're undefeated coming into this game. And that's exactly what happened. And I do think that played into it, especially with Georgia Tech laying an egg against Boston College. They thought they were gonna show up at the rented stadium, and they were going to push us around. All they were worried about was how many passing yards they were going to get. Go on Twitter, check the receipts. We need to pass more because it looks good. I didn't even bring this up in the video. They had 40 recruits. They had 40 recruits at that game when they were wearing those ghost uniforms. One of them, I think, was the number one wide receiver in the country. Number one wide receiver in the country. And I agree with Coach Coop. The only message they sent was that they're probably not going to play for Miami. Joseph Smallwood says, I think Boston College and Virginia wins. UNC, I think, beats us finally. Clemson and Syracuse are beatable. We probably lose to Georgia, but we make it competitive. I still stand with 6 wins. I've got hope alive that I don't have to pay Slim $100. I got a bet with him that Georgia Tech would make a bowl. No, let me back up. The bet is 2 things. For me, either Georgia Tech has to make a bowl or Miami doesn't. So hope is alive for me. Luke says Heels by 90. I assume you're talking about. I got ahead of myself here. You're talking about playing Miami next week, and it wouldn't surprise me if Miami went out and beat North Carolina either. And I'm not like trash talking Luke or anything. I think Miami and Tech are similar teams as far as their inconsistency. And, sometimes a loss will focus you. They definitely got humbled after that game. They definitely got humbled. Apparently the wide receiver committed. Well, good. He can take some more losses to Georgia Tech then, I guess. I will say this, I don't think there's not a game on our schedule for the rest of the year that we're not capable of winning, including Georgia. And people will call me crazy for that. In fact, I picked Georgia to cover last week or yesterday. But this is what's frustrating as a Georgia Tech fan, and we showed it somewhat against Miami. This is a talented team. This is a good team. This is a team that is capable of doing great things. All right? At times, we just go through pains of hiding that fact. That's why you play the game. And I do think, Luke would never admit it, I do think we're capable of beating North Carolina. In fact, Luke says we played a more consistent game so far, only one real weird bad performance in the first 5 games, but Miami looks like a top 10 team one week and then looks horrible the next. What made you think they're a top 10 team, though? I think they're a pretty good team, but they played what? Bethune Cookman, Temple, some other nobody, and they played Texas A&M, who the jury's still out on. And then all of a sudden we're back. We're back coming off the heels of a 5-7 season. They attacked Coop for even Coop predicted them to win 34-20. He got lambasted for that. He also predicted them to go 7-5. Got lambasted for that. And again, I say, what have you done that makes you think you're some world beater top 10 team that's going to compete for anything? You got to win the next game on your schedule. Fazak with a $5 super chat says, can we beat North Carolina? Sure, but we're going to have to see how bad Miami loses to North Carolina to see how good our defense really is. Our defense won it for us last year. Luke says, I never thought they were top 10. I'm just saying they play amazing one week and then terrible. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Luke. They're a streaky, inconsistent team. Luke, by the way, Luke, where is that game? Is it in Chapel Hill or is it in Coral Gables? I wouldn't sleep on Miami even though they lost to us, Luke. And can we also talk about, I think this is real, the curse of the ghost uniforms. Nothing hurts worse than losing a game like that and wearing the clown uniform to support it. That's 2 weeks in a row. The team wearing the ghost uniforms have lost. Those need to be retired for in perpetuity throughout the universe. So it's in Chapel Hill. Yeah, all I'm saying is take one out of both now, Georgia Tech and Miami's playbook. Don't overlook anyone on your schedule. When you take an embarrassing loss, it does tend to sharpen you up. It does tend to sharpen you up a little bit and have you a little bit of a chip on your shoulder for the next week. Luke says it's going to be one of the best atmospheres in Keenan in years. I'll be watching that game for sure. I don't know if they've released a time or a kickoff time, but I'll be very interested to see what happens in that game. The curse is real. If I had a contract with Adidas for upcoming weeks, I'd be burning that shit. And then Joseph says, I will say we need to show out for the game against UNC. It's at home, right? And no ghost uniforms. In fact, you probably know, Joseph, I won't be at that game. Unfortunately, it's heartbreaking. I have a commitment, and I'm really pissed at. I mean, if you're going to – people who get married in the fall irritate me. But anyway, Face Zach became a member tonight. Thank you, Face Zach. That's 3 or 4 people who've become members tonight. Guys, I really appreciate that. Luke says it's at 7:30. Yeah, so it's going to be rocking. There's going to be a lot of Soust fans in the stands, which always makes for an entertaining night. By the way, I was thinking about going to this game in Miami. I almost bought last-minute plane ticket and tickets. Now, I could have been gifted a ticket. I wouldn't have paid anything for the tickets to get in. They were evidently giving them away to people. But then I was like, well, I don't want to spend $400 or $500. And then we look like we did against Boston College. And on the other end, and this is true, if we won, I don't want to get arrested. Because could you imagine me acting the way I did on that live stream around a bunch of Miami fans that just took one of the most embarrassing losses in several years? There would be a fight, and Face Zach would probably make a TikTok of it. And my dad told me he's not bailing me out of jail again. And you can bet your ass he ain't driving to Miami. That's like a 12-hour drive from where we are. Joseph says, if you got tickets, Wreck, I'll take them. Hit me up. If you do want tickets to any of these games, I probably can make that happen. But, yeah. Yep. Wes King says, I think he will really leverage the bye week. He will bundle all the lessons learned from the first 6 games. They should play consistent ball in the next 6. I see they win 4 of the next 6, 7, and 5. That would be huge. If we won 4 of the next 6, you're counting probably Virginia and Boston College. You're probably counting Syracuse, and then you're beating either Clemson, Georgia, or North Carolina. I mean, that would be great. Like I said, I'm out of the prediction business for right now. You would be dead. I would be. Have y'all seen that guy that got face planted and put in the ICU at the Taco Bell? Now, don't feel bad for him. He swung on the guy first, but something like that would happen. And I'm not saying I can kick anyone's ass, but one of us probably would end up in the ICU. Could be me, could be them. Not a great way to spend a Saturday night. FaceX says, breaking news, fat old man arrested at the biggest upset at Hard Rock Stadium. Is that true? Well, I'm sure there were multiple people arrested. First of all, whoever threw a beer, I think that's what Simona said, at Christian Leary, is a garbage bag human being, and he deserves to be curb stomped at the nearest curb. Pick any one and get to kicking. Luke says it's been years since there's been this much excitement around UNC football at this point in this season. People have been talking about this Miami game for 3 weeks. But here's the thing. If you want to talk about North Carolina, and Luke knows it better than anyone, you've suffered these letdowns every year for the past however many years yourself. And I guess my question would be, what makes you think, if you're a North Carolina fan, that this year is any different for you than others? Because generally you start off hot, 6-0, 5-1, with your loss being to a pretty good team, and then like last year, and I'm not gloating, but Tech beats you, NC State beats you, Clemson beats you. Like, there's always all this hype for North Carolina, and they almost always underperform it. So, Luke, what is different about this team this year? And if it's Drake May, you had Drake May last year. I guess you might say, well, he's a freshman, and now he's more experienced. But Drake May's just one player. And look, Drake May is the best quarterback in the ACC, most likely. Very good. And now you got Nate McCullum. Dirk says even going back to the Julius Peppers days. Yeah, I mean, not Miami, but you could use them interchangeably. They have the same number of ACC championships since Miami came into the conference. So Luke says this is the first time we've been 5-0 since 97, and it's probably the most complete team we've had since then. I will say your defense looks much, much better. Much, much better opposed to last year. What's going on, Ballard? Ballard says, hi, Rec. It's always been all offense or all defense, never both. I think it's DC time. Again, this has been my face since yesterday. What a time to be alive! The Andy Demetra call, by the way, at the end was something else. Or was it West Durham? Luke says, all I know is all this excitement is probably setting us up for a loss, but no doubt I'm ready to get hurt again. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. They beat Syracuse. I also don't know how good or bad Syracuse is. I mean, we're still early in the season, guys. That's why I'm still trying to get out of the prediction business. And Luke, maybe you can clarify. For all you guys that weren't watching the live stream, and I didn't talk to Luke directly, so this is just from what C-Dog told me. The bet of eating crow is off. Evidently, like, you can't buy a crow. I don't know why we didn't really think this through before we made the bet, but I'm a YouTuber. I don't think too good. I don't think things through before I say them. That's kind of what makes me a YouTuber. No more eating crow. Evidently, and I said I would do this too, I think if we beat North Carolina, Luke has to write an essay or something. And if Tech loses to North Carolina, then C-Dog and I have to spend 24 hours in a Waffle House. And our time is reduced by an hour for every waffle we eat. So, Luke, confirm or correct me if that's what the bet has been transitioned to. Joseph says, I can't stay much longer, but we'll watch this whole show tomorrow. Last comment I got to say is let's show up and show out. The rest of the season need to get the house rocking. Yes, we do need great turnout for Boston College last week. We've been talking about, or there's been a lot of people wanting to blame the fans for a lot of stuff. I'm not going to rehash that. But now, the team has come out, showed up and showed out and given us something to be excited about. So let's do our part as fans. Let's pack out Bobby Dodd 2 weeks from now. By the way, Joe, Joseph, thank you for becoming a member, and I appreciate you coming in on the show. Stan said I saw it and still don't believe it. Luke says, yeah, that is correct. Sea-Dog and you agreed on that. Honestly, the Waffle House thing and the essay are probably worse than eating a cooked bird. Yeah, I mean, I could eat a nasty crow in like 30 seconds probably. But then, because I was thinking with Waffle House, like, if I ate 12 waffles, which is probably like 10,000 calories or something, I would still have to stay there for 12 hours sick as a dog, wouldn't I? So then I asked Sea-Dog, like, well, could I just, like, throw it all up? Could I eat the 24 and throw them up and leave? But I couldn't do that either, because I would rather get hit by a car than throw up. It's the worst thing ever. The noise, like, no one around you is safe. The noise might be worse than the act. It's bad. No Slim tonight? Yeah, I don't know. I talked to Slim on the phone earlier today. Bro, just go shoot a crow. Yeah, but then I might get, like, canceled on YouTube or something. I feel like that, like, PETA might show up. Aren't they? I think they're, like, as smart as, like, a 6-year-old child, so there might be issues with that, too. I'm going to say our offense fluked at Bowling Green. They had a tough opponent in Miami. We gave our defense the benefit of the doubt, and they showed up. I'll do the same for the offense. Yeah, I mean, look, I think it's kind of like Key said. You know, every year you get 12 different teams, 12 different games. Like, a college football team really is like its own entity. It's a living, breathing thing. It evolves throughout the season. So now our defense has really stepped up. Our offense has taken a step back. That's why I think, you know, this bye week is pretty huge for us. Let's really start getting, focusing on the offense, getting something. Really, there's some cohesion that's not there that was there in the beginning of the season. So it would be nice to iron that out in a bye week. I think it's really nice where our bye week is placed as far as all this is concerned. Yeah, I'll open up the StreamYard in a second for sure. People are saying Slim can run, but he can't hide. Yeah, I'm sure Slim will show up. Maybe if not this show, in the next one. I'll do you one better. Why is Slim? Why, Slim? Why? Like Paul used to say, it's never as bad. It's never as good or as bad as it seems. That's true. You know, as fans, we're very reactive. Fan is short for fanatic. You know, we say crazy things. And as a fan, it's really hard to see. It's like you're in a snowstorm, an absolute blizzard the whole season, and you can't really see a foot in front of you. And honestly, that goes for Miami too. I don't think this is the end of Miami's season. Miami could still go on, take care of business the rest of the year, probably make an ACC title appearance, and be in good spot. Luke says, I live in a city. I can't just go shoot a bird off the street. Yeah, I do think there's like a law about like just randomly discharging a firearm in like residential areas. It's not good. It's not good. All right, with that being said, I'll open up the StreamYard for anyone who wants to come in, talk shop with WreckTalk. Boy, it feels a lot better. It's a miracle what difference a week can make. Do you think we can still make the ACC? Well, we have one conference loss. I mean, it's not impossible, no. So we've only lost to Louisville. Yeah, I'm not going to say it's impossible. It's pretty unlikely, though. Let me switch screens here. we'll bring on our first guest, homeless Mario Cristobal. What's going on, man?
What's good? It's the usual, but I changed up the name a little bit for this week because of obvious reasons.
Oh, they're calling for Mario Cristobal to be fired.
I have never ever seen a coach of a 4-1 team with loads of talent be called for his job. That just tells you truly how bad the decision was. And I mean, yeah, they were undefeated, but the only team they've played this year is Texas A&M, which is an impressive win. I'll give them that. But the other teams that they played were Temple, Bethune-Cookman, and like someone else. But
Yeah.
they haven't really played anybody noteworthy, and they're 0-1 in ACC play because of us, right?
That's true. I didn't even mention that. They are winless in the ACC.
I mean, we'll see how the rest of the season pans out. But another note, Louisville is starting to look like a more and more quality loss. I mean, I know that we don't do moral victories or quality losses or anything because it's still an L, but like Louisville like beat Notre Dame like pretty bad. It wasn't that close. I mean, it was
They blew them out.
33-20.
They blew
Yeah.
Notre Dame out, and that was something I was 100% dead wrong preseason. I did not get the hype on Louisville. I thought that they were smoking crack, honestly. Louisville, it'll be interesting to see where they jump up into the rankings. Has that been released yet? When did
Yeah, they release the AP poll at like noon every Sunday.
All right. They should be a top 15 team now. I thought they should have been.
I think they're 15, actually.
Okay. Let me look
They're
at the
15 or
people.
17, somewhere in that range.
But yeah, Louisville, and I said this going into this game. I said Louisville, to me, is talent-wise similar to Miami, and Tech really came into this game battle-tested. Like, we have played some. I mean, look at Ole Miss. Ole Miss has one loss right now, and it's to Alabama. So yeah, I agree with you. Like, you try and steer clear of moral victories, but in hindsight, doesn't look as bad as it felt at the time.
Yeah. I mean, it felt like we really should have won that game, and I'm surprised the offense did as well as it did in that game, considering I mean, I don't understand this Georgia Tech team. We show up as a different team every week. First okay, well, like first game, Louisville, we showed up looking like a really good team that just got ahead of themselves. Second week, we showed up like against South Carolina State looking pretty okay. I mean, we had dominated obviously. Third week, we showed up against Ole Miss looking like a team that can't play 4 quarters. We looked okay, but we just can't play 4 quarters. And then the game against Wake, we looked like a team that could, be in the higher up rankings in the ACC. Probably not a championship team, but like a team that could be in the 3 or 4 slot possibly. And then we look like a bottom feeder against Bowling Green. And then we look like a really, really solid defensive team. I mean, I just don't understand how we show up as a different team every week. And so I'm hoping next week we show up like the team that played Wake or the team that played Louisville in the first half.
Are you talking about offensively or
Offensively and I mean defensively too. I mean, we played pretty well defensively in the Wake game, and as well as I think we had 5 turnovers in the Wake game.
in both of these wins? So Tyler Van Dyke threw for 3 picks, right? Then they had a turnover on downs, and they had that fumble that gave us the ball with 26 seconds. So in the two wins we have in the ACC, we have gotten 10 total turnovers.
Oh, and I don't know if anybody's heard about this. I don't know if anybody follows like the national news. We made national news. We made Fox News. Fox News did an article about how bad the Miami game was. Like and just how big of a collapse it was. I don't really appreciate how I mean all of the press. I mean, at least some press should go to the fact that it was an impressive win and comeback by us. But most of the press is going toward the coaching blunder and how Miami is a complete and utter collapse. And like, I think we played a good game. Like, I don't think that I mean, we talk about this on social media. A lot of people were like, well, first of all, should have kneeled it. Second of all, wasn't a fumble. I mean,
Yeah, and that's why like I steer clear of that. Like you say we should have beat Louisville, but also Louisville made adjustments. Louisville played much better defense in the second half of that game and won it.
they got the better of us.
I don't think it wasn't like, cuz you hear people say really dumb stuff a lot like, well, did they win it or did the other team lose it? And
It's a combination of both.
well, to me, like whoever wins it, they made more plays to win the game. So like it is infuriating to me that the national narrative surrounding this game is going to be basically Miami lost it. Miami made a bunch of dumb decisions, as opposed to Georgia Tech came out there and hit them in the mouth. Is what happened. Georgia
We
Tech
had
came out there
three
and made plays.
interceptions.
We had
We had three
interceptions.
interceptions and a fumble. We made 4 turnovers on defense. And people are saying that our offense was completely dead up until the last drive. I mean, we scored 2 touchdowns and almost got a third, came up with a field goal. Like, it's not like we didn't. The first half was bad, but
Yeah.
like the second half, we were able to capitalize off a couple of those turnovers. And now a lot of people are still mad about that play call with Pyron and the QB run or whatever. I didn't agree with the play call. We still came away with the field goal. But everyone is acting like that. I mean, the offensive performance in the first half was pretty bad, but everyone's acting like our offense was completely dead up until that last 2 plays. Like, no, we played okay offensively the last few drives.
The second
And
half was much better. You're right. We did come out. We were able to run the ball much better. Yeah, but look, we made a lot of mistakes in that game too. Like Haynes had 2 picks of his own. We had penalty issues of our own. And this is actually something I know people are kind of harping on Slim, but he's been saying this all year that Miami has a penalty issue that's going to bite them. You know, Miami took points off the board with a penalty when that
they had
running
a
back came
touchdown
in.
in the first half, didn't they?
They did, and it got
And
called
it came
back.
off the board.
And then they come away with 0 points. They go from getting 7 to none when they're in the red zone because that's when they threw the pick to LaMiles Brooks. And that's the thing, like LaMiles Brooks made a hell of a play there. You're right that this national narrative is like Miami, just threw it away. Well, what about there? Brooks made a hell of a play, baited a throw,
Yeah,
and he stepped in front of it.
And then there was the Amari Harvey pick as well, where I mean he jumped out in front of it. Like he was kind of open, the receiver's kind of open, and Harvey jumps out in front of it, gets the pick. Like I just don't understand. I get the Miami's the better team and they should have won the game. Whatever, they had the game in the bag. But even then, you have the game in the bag. It never should have been close. I mean, that's another thing. Third of all, it never should have been close. And fourth of all, your defense let us go 80 yards down the field and effectively in 2 plays. And so it's like people don't understand that, yes, all of those things happen and all of those things are just excuses because we won the game. I mean,
Yeah.
we got a really good opportunity, but we ended up taking it and wielding this game, and we were like, this is our game. We're going to win it. And we drove down the field, scored a touchdown in the final seconds.
Yeah, I mean, and credit to Haynes King, who had struggled all night, never gave up, was able to put the picks out of his mind, scrambles out to give himself enough time on the last play. And shout out to Christian Leary, because this is something we also don't talk about a lot as far as like kind of nitty gritty X's and O's. I don't know what route he had called. I have a feeling he ran it much deeper than what the route actually called for once the play started to break down and got behind the defense. In other words, I think he noticed that they had played up there. They were probably trying to prevent us from just throwing a quick out to get into field goal range, and he got behind it. Shout out to them for having the wherewithal to make a play,
Yeah, and I mean, I hope Christian Leary's mom is still watching this. I have never seen what I saw from him. Maybe, I mean, I've never seen that live before. A receiver I see the vision of the field, and I don't know if that was his route or not, but you see him pivot and just make this unbelievable move, and he's out in the open field all of a sudden, and he makes the catch, and he's scot-free in the end zone. I mean, and the other thing that really helped was a DB bit on Blaylock's route. Blaylock ran back toward the line of scrimmage. Like, he ran back toward the play, and Christian Leary pivots his hips and gets outside, and
Yeah.
that it's history.
So
And then
people are saying 4 verts. I'll go back and watch it. I'll do a breakdown coming in this week. It just looked like he was coming across the field to me, just from watching it on TV. But y'all are probably right. Fazak with the $5 super chat says they never give the worst team credit for the turnovers and good plays. It's always that the better team messed up, that they lost. Yeah, I agree. And honestly, that's copium for when you take a loss to an inferior team. You're like, oh,
well,
that's everything's still in our control. No, we came out and made plays.
I would say that we could probably, look in the mirror for the Bowling Green game. And that would be true if they didn't just get shut out by Miami of Ohio. That was really on us. Like, we should have beat them. It wasn't that they just, they played good, but like it never should have been that bad. Like, and I think that one was more we lost and we gave up than they played well. Because they just got shut out by Miami of Ohio. Are we like, seriously? Oh, that was the other team that Miami played, Miami of Ohio. So there you go.
That's right. Well,
so they played no one.
for sure. Well, Homeless Mario, I appreciate you calling in. I got other people in the back room. You got any last words for us?
Go Jackets.
All right, appreciate it, man. We got GT Fan 2007. You've called in a few times. What's going on, man?
What's going on, WreckTalk?
The upside down you. That's right.
Yeah, it's such a great time to be a Yellow Jacket, especially after the humiliating loss last week. Bounce back, man.
Yeah, let me say real quick, I see T-Brant said it looked like it was a slant and go, or it was designed for Leary to be in that position. If that's true, if we did have a play call with downfield routes in that position where a field goal takes it in overtime, that is bull balls Jeff Collins, or not Jeff Collins. I totally screwed that up. Brent Key on that. Like, that's a ballsy move to go for the end zone. And it could be, and I would agree with it. I think if that game goes to overtime, we lose.
Yeah, that's why. Did you see how stressed out our field goal kicker was when we were on like the 50, 60-yard line? He was like dripping. He was like so sweaty. They showed it on the the screen because I was at the Miami game. I traveled to Miami to watch it. And like they showed him, and he looked like so scared that he was going to have to kick that field goal. And
was it the rain or he was sweating? Because it had been raining pretty hard on and off all night.
I guess I don't know. I think it was one of the two, but I don't remember too well.
So you were at the game, or you were in the city?
No, I was literally at the game. I traveled to Miami.
That's wild, dude. And you didn't get in a fight leaving there?
No. Well, although we did have these Georgia Tech flags hanging on top of our car, like, the flags that you put on the car.
Yeah.
And on the way to the game, people just started honking their horn at us. And he told us to roll down the window, and he said, "Go Canes! Go Canes!"
Oh, man.
And we just like shoot a thumbs up at him.
I just said, you're back. You're right, man. You're back to your old ways.
Yeah. Apparently, I saw Miami fans throwing trash at Leary when he caught the touchdown. I'm not really sure what that was for, to be honest. I don't see what the point in that was, because I don't see how that's on Leary. That was, I don't know why they didn't just throw it at Tyler Van Dyke.
Yeah, I've said he was throwing trash all night. I guess they wanted to get into the action, but yeah, you never throw trash at a play. That's how brawls start. That's how players find themselves in a position and getting up in the stands. But I hate it. That sucked for Christian Leary. But look, that's their frustration coming out.
Yeah, I believe someone said that he got hit with a beer bottle.
I'd have to look back through the chat. Simona said that they threw a beer bottle at him, which is curious because most of the time, and I could be wrong, at sporting events, you can't buy glass beer for that reason. So I don't know if it was in a glass bottle. I hope not. If it was, they snuck it in somehow, which Miami fans, I can take a guess at how they snuck that in. But
Well, I mean, it's Miami fans, so I mean, what do you expect from them? They're pretty much the UGA of Florida.
yeah, and they hate each other, even though they're so similar. As far as a fan
UGA?
base, yeah.
UGA and Miami hate each other.
Yeah, they should love each other. Kind of like how Sea-Dog said how like Tech and Florida should like each other because they have like the same rivals and enemies.
Yeah. Mario Cristobal, just want to honorable mention or whatnot. I found it very weird that Mario Cristobal decided not to take a knee and just take another snap, and then we fumbled.
Yeah,
They
and
fumbled.
every other person on the planet. And I don't watch a lot of other conferences. Evidently at Oregon, he was known for this too. And is it Bayham? Baham. I'm just going to call you Bayham. A Miami fan in the chat says Miami fans are pretty chill. The bottles at the end were bad. I think they threw trash at the hate for Mario. Well, I mean, it looked like it got thrown at Christian Leary once he scored the touchdown. He says, but 99% of the time they're chill. Baja, I don't know if you've watched my channel before. I've been probably as critical of any team just from my own experiences in Miami. I mean, last year I had a fan. I hope he's watching too. That fan that after y'all beat us at Bobby Dodd last year, I hope he's watching. Said, we're going to make a bowl. We're going to beat the brakes off Pitt. Pitt's still scoring points on them. It has not been my experience, in other words, that most Miami fans are chill. But Baja, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I won't say that I don't think Miami fans are really chill, especially since I was at the game. They don't really seem very friendly, to be honest. I mean, I didn't talk to them, of course. I went with my dad and my grandparents, but
we'll walk that back a little. My two of my best friends in the YouTube community are both Miami fans. Slim is actually he talks a lot of trash on the channel, which is fine. But me and Slim are really close. He's a really good dude. And then Traveling Fools, if you've ever seen Traveling Fools, is one of the
I've
most
never
chill
seen
dudes.
him, but I've seen Slim a few times. He likes to get into arguments with Georgia Tech the most. I've even seen him on the Uncle Lou show a lot.
Yeah, he hangs around Lou's channel a lot. In fact, at the Slob Olympics, a guy named Scott Kerr brought him a stop sign so he could argue with the stop sign, and Slim was really happy. In fact, I do think Slim has had some arguments with the stop sign.
Yeah. Anyway, Mario Cristobal, that decision that he made of not taking a knee and then deciding to make another play is Mario Cristobal, in my opinion, is the dumbest coach this week. This week, he probably takes the crown of the dumbest decision making ever this week.
Yeah, I mean, he is going to be asked questions about this for weeks. And to the point, that was such a bad decision. To the point, I kind of feel bad for him. Honestly, it is going to be brutal. And the worst of it is going to come from Miami fans. I'm sure Baja will be one of them that's and I would be the same way. What are you doing, dude? I don't know if it's ever happened, and I could be wrong, that a team has a 99.9% chance of winning and not won.
Wait, Miami had a 99% chance of winning this game? What?
Yeah, because if they take the knee, they run the clock out.
I mean, yeah, that's just a stupid decision because I think if Brent Key was put in that situation, he would take a knee.
Yeah, I
hope he would, but yeah, I'm pretty sure Mario. I haven't seen his post-game press conference, but I'm pretty sure that a lot of the media was criticizing him about not taking a knee.
Well, it's a national story now, evidently, like I've said, at Oregon, he had some similar snafus as far as this bad game management. In fact, Coach Coop on his video today said his suggestion was, and they take their salaries out of Cristobal's paycheck, and he has 2 people that are on staff just to question his game management. They're like, hey, is this really a good idea? I don't think we should do this. And they have like a direct line to him.
Yeah. Honestly, before the game, I picked us to lose, but I didn't think it was going to be like a blowout. But
Yeah.
now that we won, I believe Brent Key is like undefeated on the road against like ACC opponents that are ranked. At least I think he's undefeated.
No, because we lost to Florida State on the road last year. But he does now have 3 on road ACC victories.
3 touchdown underdogs in all of them.
Yeah. I mean, Brent Key and Georgia Tech, these Brent Key-led Georgia Tech teams play their minds out on the road. I mean, maybe we should just schedule all road games. I don't know.
I don't know. We seem to not really play that good at home, and I really don't know why. A lot of people say, especially a lot of Georgia Tech fans, say that it's because of the fans not showing up. But I mean, when you go through 4 years of Jeff Collins, obviously, fans aren't going to show up until you prove something. But, I don't know what our deal is with playing at home, but we just seem to do better on the road, and I seriously do not know why.
We do. I see Baja says great recruiter, bad manager of the game. He did this in Oregon, and then in Dennis says they were not ranked at that time. Right? At what time? Oh, Florida State wasn't ranked. Okay, never mind then.
They weren't. Oh, I thought they were. I thought they were ranked.
Yeah, because Pitt, I think, Florida was ranked 21. I forget what North Carolina was ranked. But you say we don't play well at home, but that Duke win at home was lit. Last year.
I mean, it wasn't a sellout, but I mean, Bobby Dodd was pretty packed. It was pretty freaking packed. But I could have swore Florida State was ranked when we played them. I mean, we got smoked like badly by them when we played them last year. And so I'm surprised that they weren't ranked.
Yeah, and now I'll say this, like, I don't think Miami is as good as they thought they were, but I also don't think they're as bad as they now think they are. I wouldn't sleep on Miami if I had them scheduled for the rest of the year. It is a talented team, and I do think this is dangerous for North Carolina next week. I don't know if Luke's still in here. That's again, take one out of our playbook. Don't overlook someone that just took a bad L.
I mean, do you know where the Miami and North Carolina game is at? Like, is it in Chapel Hill?
It's in Chapel Hill, yeah.
Ooh, I don't know who to pick. I mean, Chapel Hill is not really an easy place to play, to be honest.
Especially for Miami. What North Carolina is to Miami is what Virginia is to Georgia Tech. So North Carolina has had their number for years.
Yeah, there's pretty much this weird thing in the ACC where like certain teams just own other teams. Like we own North Carolina, Virginia owns us. Like I don't know, like it's just a weird thing in the ACC, and I don't really get it. It's just certain teams just own teams.
Well, and it's not just an ACC thing. Like, there's just certain matchups, or not even matchups, but certain teams play certain teams tough, even though they shouldn't. I mean, it's an ACC example, but for instance, Syracuse and Clemson, when Clemson was really good, they had their number for a while.
Yeah. Anyway, the UNC in Miami, I'm probably going to pick UNC. Not only because it's in Chapel Hill, but I think that their quarterback and their offense is really going to put it up on Miami.
Yeah, and Luke could be right. It does seem like North Carolina, well, it doesn't seem like, it's a fact. They are a more complete team this year than they've probably been in a very long time.
They're better than they were last year, I will say that.
Yep, their defense is playing much better than they were last year. I'm trying to see if there's a line I'm going to see if there's a line on that game yet. There should be. It's a 7:30 kick. North Carolina's a 3.5-point favorite over Miami. Miami drops to 25 in the poll. North Carolina's undefeated, 12th in the polls. Over-under's 56 too, which seems to be. I mean, I would take the over in that. Like, those are two pretty good
Yeah, me
offenses
too.
to score less than 30 points apiece.
Yeah, me too. I think that North Carolina could pull off that win by like 1 or 2 scores, in my opinion. They could pull it off by like it could actually be a blowout, but I'm not sure though.
Yeah, by the way, Louisville's 14th in the polls at 6-0. They move up 11
They're
spots.
14.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Which I think's right.
I mean, we would be their only loss if we hadn't given up in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we definitely feel like we let one get away from us, but I also don't I know I didn't realize how good Louisville was when we were playing them. And then number 13, Ole Miss. So our 2 losses, we'll set aside Bowling Green for a second, but those 2 losses are the 2 top 15 teams. And that's why I was saying, coming into this game, we really were battle tested. We had played now verifiably good teams where where's Texas A&M? They're not even ranked, right?
Yeah, I think Miami knocked them off when they beat them.
Yep, A&M's not ranked. Just going through the polls, some team I've never heard of at number 1, and then Michigan at 2, Ohio State at 3, Florida at 4, Oklahoma at 5, Penn State at 6, Washington 7, Oregon 8, Texas 9, and USC 10. So yeah.
Yeah, Oklahoma went up a lot. I think they were like 13 before they beat Texas.
They did go up a lot, and I agree with Stan Garner. Louisville should be higher, to be honest. Louisville is impressed. Yeah, I think let me go back and look at the polls. I think Louisville could beat Ole Miss. Louisville, do they play North Carolina? Let me see.
I think so. They don't play Clemson and they don't play Florida State, but I believe they do play North Carolina. And Notre Dame. Wait, no, they already played Notre Dame. Never mind.
Yeah, I'm going to pull up Louisville's schedule because the worst of it seems to be behind them. Well, they've played their toughest game probably against Notre Dame. They got Pitt next week. Then they play Duke in Louisville. That'll be a tough game, but I think they're more talented than Duke. They've got Virginia Tech at home, Virginia at home. They go on the road at Miami and then Kentucky. So, yeah, they could be favored in all of their remaining games.
Yeah, pretty much all of them, maybe except the Kentucky game, because I believe, if I'm right, Kentucky basically has their number. Like,
Yeah.
by a lot. Kind of like how Georgia has our number, but, it's just an SEC thing. I don't know.
I heard that. Well, GT fan, I appreciate you coming in. You got any last words for the people?
Go Jackets.
All right. GT fan there. Let me roll up through the chat here, see what you guys are talking about. Miami has home field disadvantage. Do they have like a bad record at home or something throughout the past like 10 years or something? They could. Yeah, I'm hopefully optimistic going into Boston College. I just don't want us to come off the heels of a huge emotional charged victory and then kind of revert back to kind of what happened with Bowling Green. Like, because here's the thing, Boston College did show up and played Florida State tough. They do have a very athletic, talented quarterback. Like we're gonna have to get prepared for them and be ready to play. Like I said about Miami, we haven't done anything that makes us think we're going to be able to overlook anyone. Looking at the remaining games on our schedule, we have a bye week this week. Obviously, we got 2 home games in a row, Boston College, and then homecoming North Carolina. We'll go on the road at Virginia. We've already talked about Virginia. kind of being our kryptonite. I think in the last 10 appearances, we're 5-5 or 6-4 advantage to Virginia. They play us tough no matter what. Then we go on the road at Clemson. Now, I've said I will be at that game. It's going to be a ton of fun. Clemson seems a lot more human, especially this year. I might not be able to convince Clemson fans of it, but I do think, let's say we handle business in the games that we should be able to be competitive against, Boston College and Virginia. That'll be a one-score line against Clemson, I think. Or it could be. 7 to 10 points. Syracuse is winnable, and like I've said, I do think Georgia's winnable. Is Rhett going to the UNC game? I will not be at the UNC game, unfortunately. I already said people like to decide to get married October 28th for some reason, and I got to be there. The path to 6 or 7 wins is there. Boston College, Virginia, Syracuse, Clemson may be winnable. Yeah, that would be 7, and I sure would like to not have. I would like to not have to pay Slim $100. Yeah, it would. We haven't beat Clemson since 2014, I think, something like that. It's been a long time. We haven't been Clemson since Deshaun Watson's first freshman year. By the way, how many of you guys are going to be at the Boston College game? Because we need a turnout. I sit in section 107. I think it's row 38. If you guys want to come by and say hi, but we need to pack out the Dodd. Todd Wisdom here in Louisville. Great game. Tech, the final minute of your game warms my heart. Keep it going, man. Here in Louisville. Yeah. So Mouse VR, are you a Louisville fan? I'm trying to. Are you Todd Wisdom, the Tech guy? So I got a few people saying they'll be there. Anyway, ladies and gents, Baja says it was good chatting and listening in with you good folks. Congrats again on the win. I'm looking at enrolling into OMSCS program in 25. One day I'll root for Georgia Tech. What is OMSCS? Are you enrolling at Tech or something? Is this some program at Tech? Computer science. Okay, Masters of Computer Science. Oh, yeah, man. That'd be great. Like I said, we got to pack out the Dodd. We got to show up and support our jackets. I'm just still like, what just happened? What just happened? Scott H says, my wife and I will be at the Boston College game. Well, good deal. Oh, me. Cody says I'm bringing 4 to Section 216. Maybe that would be a good use of our time. I'll take like a separate donations. Let me see what that Google. What's it called that's on top of the south end zone? You know what I'm talking about? There's some little like party you can attend and watch the game on top of the south end zone. I'm trying to find it. I will find it. Give me 1 second. Sports, football. Where would it be? Help me out, guys. It's like that you get all you can eat, all you can drink. It's like $100, I think. The Hyundai Hive. That's it. Hyundai Hive. Georgia Tech. How much is that for Boston College? think it's $125. Is it not called the Hyundai Hive? Coach Brent Key, we did it, baby. That's right. We did do it. We did do it. Thank you, Coach Key. And I'm sorry for our doubt. This is it. All right, Hyundai Nest. The Hyundai Nest. Let me check this out. Buy tickets. What is it for Boston? So $155 for Boston College. Maybe we'll take like a separate donation just for that, like via PayPal. And if we hit it, we'll gift that ticket to somebody. I don't know. All-inclusive seating. Or maybe I'll match whatever the donation is until we hit 155, and then we'll pick someone at random on a live show and gift them a ticket to that. What do y'all think? That ending was also great for positive publicity. We needed that and making big rounds. Yeah, because we gotta still recruit. You know, we gotta still recruit and put some things together. That's huge for that. That's huge. Let me go find the Cristobal interview. Let's see, Mario. Let me check this out. Let's react to this on the live show. Mario Cristobal press conference. Yeah. All right.
Good evening.
Let me switch screens here. So, yeah, we did lose our best recruit, but that's not the end of that story. I mean, recruiting is a year-round thing until signing day. You know, anything's game. Best thing we can do, like we've been talking about, is handle our business against Boston College, and then the next game, and then the next game. All right, let me switch screens here. Let's see what Mario had to say. It was a short press conference, 5 minutes. Wow. Stat padding question was epic. All right, let's see.
Thank you for your patience. Obviously disappointing. A lot of different aspects. Obviously, again, just fell short in so many different ways. Battled. There were some signs of life. Not having a great first half, but coming out second half doing some things and falling behind and getting up again. And then at the end of the game, a chance to put it away. And
I will say, just Mario's demeanor and his affect, that is exactly how I look like when I found out I was getting divorced. It's the same thing, same emotions.
Should just tell them to take a knee, take a timeout right there, recalibrate, and just take a knee. And so gave them a chance, and they took advantage of it and scored. So.
All right, so he admits they should have taken a knee, so he preempted that. It sounds like redacted. Is this not the entire press conference? This is on their website.
That simple. Questions, please.
I don't really understand taking a timeout, though. Why would you take a timeout there? And by the way, I can't believe we haven't talked about it. What happened with Tech not kicking the extra point and then kicking it out of bounds? That seemed like kind of not great game management from Key to me. Why not just get up there, kick the extra point, then you're up by 4, right? Then they can't get some return, a good return off and kick a field goal. And why did you kick it out of bounds and give them the best field position they're going to get to mount, a, 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 a,
When the drive started, it was going to be at 150.
Let me see what he asked.
Why didn't you guys take a knee on that?
All right, why didn't you take a knee on that last play?
You know, when the drive started, it was going to be at 157, you know, and we could burn about.
Now, am I understanding this right? If he would have taken a knee, that would have ended the game. Am I right in saying that? I know they didn't mean to kick it out of bounds, Josh, but why not just kick it through the back of the end zone if you're capable of it? And even if they try and return it, they hadn't gotten it past the 25 all night. I mean, that just seems like a better way to go. So we didn't kick it out of bounds because if it did possibly get returned, then we would have lost. I just feel like giving them good field position isn't great either. But anyway. Yeah, I'd rather just kick it in the end zone, trust your coverage team to cover. And here's the other thing. Speaking of kind of equally baffling, is it not a higher percentage? Because they were on about the 50. Tyler Van Dyke has the arm strength to get it to the end zone or close. Why not just throw a Hail Mary there? Like, is a hook and ladder and praying that the officials, you know, overlook 20 holding penalties like they did when they beat Duke that night? Is that a better chance of winning than not just throwing the Hail Mary? There's no guarantee the kickoff would have gone to the end zone. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess we won. I shouldn't be bitching. I just think, I don't know. That's why I'm on YouTube and not coaching, I guess.
127 off, and then
Key didn't want to risk a block kick. Well, let's play that through. So what if the kick gets blocked? Because we went up by 3. They return it, they get a point, and I guess then he's thinking then a field goal wins it. I guess that's the rationale for that.
it was recalibrated. They should have taken the time out.
Recalibrated.
27 off, and then it was recalibrated. You know, when the drive started, it was going to be at 157, you know, and we could burn about 127 off, and then it was recalibrated. They should have taken the time out right there at the end. Thought he could get the first down, and you know, we talked about 2 hands on the ball, but that's not good enough. Just should have told him to take it in. That's it. Fumble the ball.
So a block kick in college is a dead ball. No, well, it's not on a field goal attempt. So you're saying if you block the extra point, it's a dead ball. They get 2 points, he said in the press conference, to prevent any penalty on PAT. Oh, so that makes a lot of sense. So he didn't want to hit the extra point, everyone go crazy celebrating, and then you have to kick it from like 15 yards back. That makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. What doesn't make sense is if you kick an extra point, you get 1 point, but if they return the extra point, they get 2. That sounds like a perpetual motion machine or something, like you're getting something for nothing. Seminole Seth in the house says, "What up, WreckTalk, go Knowles, couldn't be any happier for y'all." Yeah, man, definitely. Appreciate it. So what's he talking about recalibrated? They had to reset the game clock? Is that what Mario means by recalibrated? Also, anytime you're having to answer difficult questions about your own stupidity, you will fumble with whatever's in front of you. So I don't know how many times he tries to adjust the mic, but FBI profiler WreckTalk will be here to comment on it. Seems like Key tried to big brain the ending. I just feel like before you go out there, you tell the guys to kick that extra point. If any of you draw a penalty whatsoever, whether it's a horrible call or not, you will be running until you die. Okay? So you get that set up, hit the extra point, go up by 4, and then just kick the kick.
Ball 25, and they went 75 yards in 2 plays, so no excuse.
Key saw how much the kicker was sweating? Maybe, yeah. Maybe if your kicker looks like he's in a hostage situation, then yeah, maybe that worked out. Nerds are going to milk this for all it's worth. Well, let me tell you something, Ultra MAGA dog. The minute that I can't get excited about a win, I don't want to do this anymore. That's the stupidest thing. That's the absolute stupidest thing. People come in here and comment like, oh, look how happy they are. They act like they just won the Super Bowl. Yeah, if you win a game, you get excited about it. That's what being a fan is. Absolute idiot.
What's that?
So I think, what did he ask? Let's go back.
No excuse.
I mean, what am I supposed to do? So we get this huge upset against Miami, and I'm just supposed to come in here like I'm in a library, be like, oh yeah, don't get too excited. It's fine. I feel bad for Miami. Freaking mouth drooling idiot. Is that Carl? Were you in Sling Blade?
Just for clarification, of this 3rd and 10, so you're saying you guys could have got the first down? Is that what you did?
What's that?
So it sounds like he asked if it's 3rd and 10, you could have got the first down. Were you trying to get the first down?
It was 3rd and 10 on that fumble play. Is that you're saying that you could have got the first down? Is that what you guys did it?
So he's asking, did you do it because you thought you could have got the first down? 23-0, sir. Yeah, they don't have nothing to do with what you said. That's what you UGA fans do, is you take a dump in your hand and you just start throwing it at everybody, and none of it makes sense with anything else you've said. You better not get excited about any win. I better not see you on YouTube ever excited about anything that Georgia does, all right? Or I'll be there.
We should have taken a knee. Okay. So.
All right, so he should have taken a knee. WreckTalk, can you kick people? No, I mean, if he wants to come in here and say that, I mean, he can do that. I only kick people for spamming. I kick, like, these porn bots, stuff like that. Like, I don't – look, you can say what you want to say, but think about how stupid that is. To come in here and say, oh, you shouldn't be excited about winning when you're a 20-point underdog on the road. Puke, man. Rub the two brain cells you have knocking around in your head together and say something smarter, or let someone else comment. You're excited right now? I can't imagine what's on your computer screen.
Well, when we mistimed we mistimed the win ball.
Yeah, did you get excited about beating Kentucky? I hope not. God, you're an idiot fan if you got excited about a win for the team you root for.
Well, when we mistimed the
All right, enough of that. No longer, you got me derailed. Good job with that. That's what a good troll does. You did your job. Got to give it to you there. I'm trying to react to this interview now. I've gotten totally derailed. Mouse VR says, I'm a Louisville fan. I jumped out of my seat when Tech landed that pass. Yeah, I mean, no matter who you root for, like, that was an exciting win. So, you have other – in fact, we had Georgia fans come into that live stream and say they were rooting for us. I mean, if you're a college football fan, you get excited about that type of game. If y'all didn't say dumb shit about UGA all the time, I wouldn't be in here trolling you. No, look, I give it up to you, man. That was a successful troll. I'll admit it. But it was a dumb thing to say as well. And you're right. Yeah, me and C-Dog do give UGA hell. I would expect nothing less than to come in here and get trolled. There you go.
We've mistimed the win ball.
Flood Insurance says we gave up 450 yards. Like I've said, luckily you don't win on based on how many offensive yards you give up.
Over on their sideline, jumped over and he caught it, made a great play. Second one. Well, when we mistimed one of the.
All right, so he's asking about the two big plays. We went down the field 75 yards. Now look at this look. It's like, God, are you just going to keep asking me questions that I don't have the answer to? Because it's like in a good cross-examination. Like, I've watched a ton of stuff on lawyers. And the key to a good cross-examination is you ask a question where it doesn't matter what the answer is. Doesn't matter what the guy answers that you're cross-examining. So like, hey, on this date you said one thing, and then on this date you said another. What time were you telling the truth? Doesn't matter what he answers. He's exposed as a liar, right? And that's really what's happening with Mario Cristobal right here. There is no good answer.
Well, when we mistimed we mistimed the win ball over on their sideline, jumped over, and he caught it, made a great play. Second one, quarterback broke contain. They slipped the guy behind the back end of our secondary.
Yeah, so that first one he said mistimed. I guess he means they mistimed the jump. That was the completion down the sideline to Malik Rutherford. He about got a fingertip on it. I think just that was a good throw by Haynes King. He just got it right above what the guy could jump. Uncle Lou Live was awesome also. Yeah, I guess watch your season is over. Obviously, I haven't watched it lately because for obvious reasons. But I did go back and watch the end of his live stream. It was so unlikely for Miami to win there, and he even said it like he just kind of stopped paying attention to it, you know?
And scored. So, best.
Then he said that Christian Leary, I guess, just slipped contain. Yeah, I mean, there's no good answer to that.
Best. What's that?
He asked, did you guys think Tech had a timeout? Basically, he's asking, why would you do something so dumb as to not take a knee? The only sensible explanation to it is you thought we could stop the clock. We had a timeout in our pocket, which we should have, but we lost a timeout. Tell me if I'm wrong, because I couldn't hear the broadcast while I was watching it because obviously YouTube doesn't like that. It gets your stream taken down. I think we lost a timeout because a player got injured, and to prevent you from taking the timeout or prevent you from just using that as a timeout, if a player gets injured, you're charged with a timeout. Tech had a timeout, if we believe the ESPN website. Yeah, I don't think we had it. We didn't have a timeout. I can definitively say that. I mean, look at this. Basically, the only explanation for you not taking a knee was further ineptitude mentally. How does he answer this?
No, there was no confusion on there. We were moving the pile. We were,
No, I completely understood how dumb the decision was, and I made it anyway. So, yeah, basically that question was, were you stupid before or during? And he said, I was stupid during. Key took a timeout at 2:04 and saw another one at 2:01, and I was kind of wondering why. Yeah, I'm pretty sure once the clock gets under a certain amount, and I'd have to go, I'm not some college football rules connoisseur, but once the clock gets under a certain time, if you have a player get injured, you're charged with a timeout. If you don't have any timeouts to be charged, they run 15 seconds off the clock. I think that's how it works. And I think that's why we lost our last timeout. We had a player injured, and we were charged a timeout. Maybe they wanted to run the score again. Evidently, he's asked about it. His contract is what? It's $8 million a year, by the way. Miami got taken just as badly as A&M. I don't know what the duration of it is. Probably 10 years, though, to get him to leave Oregon. Yeah, so they probably owe him like at least 50 million, 50-something million. First of all, them wanting to fire Mario, like I get it. It was one of the worst coaching decisions ever, but that's completely stupid.
Had a pretty good drive going.
Yeah, they do that, Brandon. Otherwise, if I didn't have timeouts, I would just tell, and I needed to stop the clock, I would just tell one of my players to act like he's hurt, and so it prevents that.
And just, we were moving the pile. We were, had a pretty good drive going, and just, again, you like to think that just, that's it. And there's no other.
You know what Mario looks like here? I hesitate to say this. Mario looks like Ned Beatty after that scene in Deliverance.
Not going to make an excuse for it or say you should have done this or that. That's it. We should have done it. Sometimes just get carried away with, hey, just finish the game and run it. But I should have just stepped in and said, hey, just take a knee.
So here's the thing. If you're saying you should have just stepped in and told him to take a knee, it almost sounds like he's saying his OC made the call to call another running play, and he's saying, well, I should have came in and overruled it as the head coach. I don't know what the follow-up question to it is, but it should be, then why didn't you?
Finish the game and run it, but I should have just stepped in and said, hey, just take a knee.
Was it an effort to get down 100 yards?
No.
So the follow-up question was, were you trying to get so-and-so 100 yards rushing? Basically, were you trying to pad stats at the end? And he says no. I mean, because you're just trying to pull sense out where there is none. Like, we need an explanation for why you did that, other than you should have not done it. Did you think you were playing NCAA 14? Did you think this was a simulation? Did you think you could restart the game?
The offense, obviously, very slow to start. They've had all season. Just what wasn't clicking tonight?
They played coverage, so all the stuff was underneath. And to do...
I don't really know what he means by played coverage. To my understanding of football, and I'm not the smartest guy, you generally have some form of coverage called every defensive play. I know that because you don't know what the offense is going to do. So you have to think, in the event they do pass, we need to have some sort of coverage played. I think what he's saying is they played zone. They played off the ball a good ways, and they played zone. But I'm trying to interpret what he's saying.
To be effective against what they were playing, just got to be patient and methodical. So we're moving the ball, get to midfield, maybe a little bit beyond, and we weren't finishing drives. We had penalties that hurt us. We had an option route. We weren't on the same page, miscommunicated, and threw an interception.
Look at him. It's like you just witnessed something horrible happen, and you go into the police station, and they're asking you to recount it, and you're having to relive this horrible experience, except you're having to do it on national TV. Scott says, I assume he means too deep. No, I assume he means we're playing like cover 2 or cover 3, and we weren't allowing anything deep due to the zone coverage, and they were having to throw underneath. You know who didn't have any problem with throwing underneath and scoring 38 unanswered on us, though, was Bowling Green. So I don't know what Bowling Green could figure out that they didn't, but anyway.
A penalty that nullified a touchdown as well.
That penalty not only nullified a touchdown, they threw a pick right after taking that penalty. Brandon King says, love it. I'm going to have to attend more live streams. Yeah, man. And if you like these, I do more reacts for members. So I'm probably get off and react to some like player interviews and Keys interview for members when I get off here.
Down there in the red zone, I had some miscues in the first half where they held. You got to give them credit too. You don't want to sound arrogant about it, but we certainly we didn't play to our standard, which means we didn't coach to our standard, and we felt we had a good week of preparation last week and this week. It did not.
I've heard that we had a good week of preparation before. I've experienced it last week. And I probably wouldn't say I don't want to sound arrogant. But, all right, Brandon King, welcome to the latest member. Appreciate it, man. Says, welcome to WreckTalk member. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. But I wouldn't say, hey, I don't want to sound arrogant when I just got beat like I did. Not a good look.
Not show up tonight. So it's just very, very important that we're very realistic with ourselves. That bottom line is we got to get right back to work because we have a tremendous game, a tremendous opportunity next week. And locker room, everybody feels it. Everybody's down. It's hard. It sucks. And you got to take it. You got to take it like a grown man. You got to lift it.
You do have to take it like a grown man. Maybe that Deliverance reference was more accurate than I thought. Yo, what was the bets you had out? Daniel Oliver, I don't know how much you watch my channel. I don't generally bet. Here's the thing about betting on college football. Setting aside betting on your own team, it makes it not fun, right? You bet, let's say you bet the spread on somebody, they're 20-point favorites like this, and then they hit a meaningless field goal at the end of the game or give up a garbage touchdown, and all of a sudden you lose, and it's not fun. Evidently, B-Dog, C-Dog's brother, put $300 on the money line for Tech, which, as big as a Tech fan as I am, that's I don't know, man. I didn't have I don't bet. The only bet that I've made thus far is I bet Tech would make a bowl, and I only did that because I got basically a parlay that Miami also wouldn't.
Each other up, knowing that we are what we have. We're all that we have, and it's all that we need. You got to get back to it and come on, be better.
Did anything catch you off guard with their coordinator switch that they seem markedly different in any ways?
I wouldn't say.
So he asked, did anything seem different with us having Kevin Scherer calling plays and being promoted to DC? Oh, Daniel says, I thought you had 2 bets with friends. Okay, so the one bet I just made. Maybe I should say this more succinctly. I don't generally bet money on football. I did have a bet with Luke that I would literally eat crow, C-Dog and I. The loser would have to eat crow if North Carolina beat us. I don't know how much money that's worth, but we called it off for various reasons. Evidently, you can't just buy a crow because that's a psychotic thing to do for consumption. So now the bet is he has to like write an essay or something if they lose, and then C-Dog and I have to spend 24 hours in a Waffle House, which 24 hours of my time, spoiler alert, is way more valuable than $100. But anyway, and that 24 hours is reduced for every waffle that we eat. So that's the new bet.
So, no. I mean, they played quarters. They played post safety. Similar pressures, you know. Both teams, I thought, played hard, but we weren't in sync. That was obvious. The defense was playing lights out for a majority of that game and gave us great field position, and we ended up kicking, field goals and not scoring touchdowns, and other time having a punt as well. Didn't take advantage of the stuff we have been doing well, and the stuff we have been doing well, we did not do well tonight. So,
well, that's true. They definitely didn't look like the same team. Appreciate it, Daniel Oliver. Love any Tech content I can get. Appreciate it. Yeah, so he basically said no, and that's kind of what I saw too. I didn't think we did anything radically different scheme-wise on defense. We played, again, mostly nickel. The difference in our defense was we just played better. And I don't even mean like play harder or like with more heart or all that other like horseshit people talk about. We played more effectively. We were way more fundamentally sound. I don't think we had a missed tackle all night. So, all credit to Scherer, I think, for just having a better prepared defense. We got to keep it going. I would hate to be the Wahoo that hosts C-Dog WreckTalk's Waffle Dumps. Well, luckily, there's a Wahoo within walking distance of where I live, so I guess then I'd have to leave the Wahoo, so never mind.
Anything bothering Tyler per se? Obviously, I don't want to time.
Just wasn't.
These questions, man, this might be the most brutal press conference I've ever watched. And I've seen some brutal ones. Although people were kind of gave Jeff Collins pretty softball questions until the very end. But she just asked, hey, hold on. How exactly she worded it?
So.
She asked, is there anything bothering Tyler Van Dyke? Did his girlfriend just break up with him? Did he just get a call from the IRS that he owes a bunch of money? What is wrong with this guy? Make sense of all this.
Just wasn't his best game. He gave great effort. Did hit some big throws, some other throws he'd like to have back, but no, nothing bothering him. Nothing physically, no. Well,
what was your message to the team after the game? Was it just a minute straight of you saying, I should have taken a knee? Did he take a knee when he gave the speech to the team? These are all things we would like to know.
We like to keep that stuff in the locker room, but very direct. I think in moments like this, less is more, right?
Yes. After this game, probably less of what Mario Cristobal has to say is more, especially if you ask Miami fans.
We had our opportunities, even though we didn't play well. Obviously we could have coached better, could have made a better decision. All those things were on the table, and we just didn't do it, And Saturday is going to be here in a hurry against an excellent football team. And we got to go on the road, and we got to get it done. So,
Face Zach with the $2 super chat says, "What SEC are you at, Bowling Green?" I don't really understand what you're saying or asking. What did you mistype or something? Brandon King says, "Is there a Skyrim reference about the knee? I took an arrow to the knee. Someone take your sweet roll." Yeah. The best comment, I forget who gave it, was Mario Cristobal didn't even take a knee to propose to his wife. Kelly Quinlan gives softball questions in general. Yeah, that's probably why people have asked me, like, why don't you try and get to a point where you can go to press conferences? If I got asked to one, I would probably never be asked to come back.
Very simple. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal. Let's see what the comments are. Coach, that coach snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. It's insane how he's discussing this like some difficult decision when the situation was as simple as football gets. Yeah. Oh, what section am I at Bowling Green? Section 107. Yep, section 107. That's in the west stands. Sorry about that. Someone says, "I'm relieved it's no longer Oregon hearing these Cristobal press conferences. Thank you, Miami, for taking him because Oregon never would have fired him despite the fans begging him." He did the same thing at Oregon. This is inexcusable. Victory stance is what winning coaches use. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to explain when the win was 100% within your control and you choose to take it out. I mean, that's curious. From USA Today article, even though Chaney committed the turnover, it's not his fault that Miami coaching staff decided to spit in the face of the football gods to that extent. It's as if Cristobal was sitting at a blackjack table looking at 20 and decided to hit anyway. When you challenge karma to that extent, you get what you deserve. That might be the best metaphor for what just happened that I've seen thus far. Mario Cristobal was sitting on 20. He looked at the football gods and said, "Hit me. Hit me." Wow. Get me a take a knee shirt. He did the same thing at Oregon. Wow. I got to go back and see what they're talking about at Oregon. Here, I'm going to leave these up. I'll be right back. I got to take a leak. Sorry about that. Oh. Were they trying to inflate stats? I don't understand why else they would not take a knee. They need to recalibrate this coach. They need to recalibrate this coach. Oh, man. We might have to make some merch off of this. We might have to. Yeah, that's probably the damnedest thing I've ever seen. I've never seen anything like it. Anyways, it is getting late. I do have to work tomorrow. Are you coming to the BC and UNC games? I'll be at Boston College. Unfortunately, I won't be at North Carolina. Won't be there. Sorry about that. But guys, I appreciate y'all all coming in, hitting that like button. Thank you for all the super chats. I appreciate everyone tuning in. All the people that became WreckTalk members tonight became a part of WreckTalk Nation. This was a huge win. Georgia Tech desperately needed something like this. And, man, it's great to be a Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket today. I almost feel bad for Cristobal. But I don't. If no one's told you tonight, WreckTalk loves you. Y'all have a